I'm just gonna be real quick on this. We are in the office doing a lovely broadcast. Introduce yourself.
How are we doing? I'm Desmond Johnson, founder of BuildDifferent and Viral Edge. We got the wonderful Madeline here. We have a great podcast.
And we got Kevin. Kevin's over here.
Kevin's
he said, "Make us look like God." Woo! Oh yeah, you're supposed to give me a beer. What the hell is this?
Welcome to Build Different. This is episode 5 of the lovely Madeline Hall, which is awesome because my grandmother's maiden name is Hall. So shout out to me. Yeah. So I'm super excited for this interview because I met you. You actually came to say what's up to Ep.5, which is in our building in Dig.
Yes.
And you're friends with my other business partner, Mike Dudek.
Yep.
And you stopped in the office, and I was like, I never met you before. It was nice to see you. You were explaining what you were doing then. I think you just came back from an event, like always.
Of course, me event.
Exactly.
Shocker.
We're going to get into that. I think you said 80, 87 now?
89.
89?
Yep.
89. One woman from 90,
Yep.
which is crazy. But Madeline's making a lot of waves in Buffalo. I know you have. I'd only heard about you probably about 7 months ago, and like seeing the food blog page and just the ripples that you're creating here.
And then we're like, oh shit, now she has a clothing line? Because everyone's like, how does it make sense?
How does that
we'll
happen?
get there.
But once you get to the influence, though, which we'll get to, you do what you want.
Yeah.
You know? So at this point, I feel like anything you touch is gold. I mean, I feel like everyone else around you probably feels the same way.
Thank you.
And, you know, when you have, I'm pretty sure you're probably good at manifesting things. So.
Well, I do listen to that podcast, Manifestation Babe.
Okay.
Sometimes she gets a little off her rocker, but I like it.
Usually people manifest things, it might seem off their rocker, but
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it happens.
Yeah.
So I'm excited, and Buffalo Food Slut, so we're just going to get right into it. So I always start with the question of, were you born here? Were you raised in Buffalo? And what was life like growing up?
All right.
Yeah.
Wow. Born and raised in Buffalo, in South Buffalo. I went to St. Ambrose, which was like a Catholic school down there.
Mm-hmm.
I am one of 5. But
Okay.
The 3 oldest of us, right? I was basically born the middle child because my little sisters are 11 years younger than me.
Ooh.
From the same parents, but I'm like the definition of like a middle child. Just that wild child, giving tree, super outgoing. Because you had to part with your older sister who was maybe a little bit meaner, and then your brother who was kind of like a little bit more an introvert. So you just were going back and forth between them. And then we switched over from Catholic school and then went to West Seneca West High School and moved over to West Seneca, but literally on the borderline of like South Buffalo, West Seneca, Lackawanna. And then stayed there forever. And then my sister went to Buff State and I started going up there and grabbing the car and telling my parents I was elsewhere and going up to Buff State. And then I ended up going to Buff State.
Okay. Now, we're going to get into that because I know you went to Buff State.
Yeah.
Check the LinkedIn. I didn't figure out where you went to school. Yeah. What was high school like? Because everyone's like, has a different experience in high school. Was it fun? Was it
Oh my God. West Seneca West was amazing. Our teachers were all pretty young. And the ones that were older had their 10 years, so they were mad chill. I was varsity captain of the tennis team. And then I played lacrosse. And then later on in college, I played rugby. But yeah, always my parents made it very important that we pretty much play sports. If you're not going to play sports, then you better be good at something else. But then also, I was president of the Cable Club.
Of the Cable Club?
Yes.
What's involved in the Cable Club?
Cable Club is production, editing, and film.
Okay. So that's
and we went around all over a bunch of the high schools in Western New York and interviewed teachers, students, about maybe like big events that were coming up. And like one of my favorite trips ever, we got to go to the YMCA had like a boot camp or something like that, an hour out of town, right? And we're in high school. We got to leave school all the time to go film because I was the head honcho there. And we would go film and we got to do all the adventure units with the kids. Meanwhile, my friends are texting me that they're like in class and I'm climbing trees and like doing all that stuff. But I was the head film editor, producer, director, and everything. And that's why I'm so particular when I have videographers film for me. And sometimes they just like will send me stuff and I'm like, oh, no. I love my B-roll. I love action shots. I don't want just me talking the whole entire time.
Mm-hmm. Makes perfect sense because I actually was I'll talk about that too, but I can tell from even when you started the food blog that the pictures and the content looks a certain way. It's held to a higher standard, even just starting the blog with a video, like the Instagram blog. I mean, starting the page with a video It's like a higher standard than just a picture and introducing what you're talking
Oh
about.
yeah.
So that's even better. So you did a lot in high school, and it was fun.
Oh yeah.
And then you went to Buff State.
Yeah.
And what was that like? Because you said, I think you were commuting. Did you stay there?
No, I only commuted the first day.
Oh, okay.
And got stuck in like 9 minutes of traffic. Welcome to Buffalo. And I was like, I am done with this. I called my sister and she said, well, our roommate's moving out next week. And we're actually looking for a roommate, so you can move in with us. So I slept on the couch for like a week until he moved out and got my own bedroom, which I actually had a freaking sink in my closet. I was on West Delavan between Elmwood and Chapin. And our apartment was like 1,600 square feet with a driveway, and I used to throw ragers, like 200 person parties.
That's a big place.
Oh, it was huge, but then the attic was completely empty. And it was the layout of the house, so then double that. So you could fit mad people there. And then eventually I moved on to Abbotsford, which was awesome because it was closer to a bunch of Buff State students.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to meet more people my age. Because when you're not dorming freshman year, you kind of don't meet that many people. So I hung out with Canisius a lot because it was right down the street.
Okay.
A bunch of my friends from high school went there.
Mm-hmm.
But then I moved on to Abbotsford. There was the rugby team, the lacrosse team. And we had so much fun. And those were my best friends for the longest time.
Time in college. Yeah. What's crazy about lacrosse is I didn't know about lacrosse until I came to college. Like in
because where you're not
I'm from the
Buffalo?
tri-state area. I was born in Houston,
Okay.
then moved to Cape Cod, and then moved to the tri-state area. And I didn't know what lacrosse was. Apparently it's big. I mean, my school was an Indian school, it's Menacing Valley, but like they were apparently good at it. But even when I was down there, I just didn't know what it was. Came up here, and I've been at Bandits games, friends with the Bandits now, and like I love lacrosse. If I could have played it back then, I would have played it.
Bunch of the Bandits players, they're BFS fans.
All right.
Oh yeah, I
I'm
always
sure they
creep
are.
on my stories. See who's check marked.
Mm-hmm.
See who's looking, and I'm like,
We're all trying to get that check mark. They're lucky they got it. Are you there yet?
Dude, I've been trying, but because my company has Buffalo Food Slut on there, half the news channels won't touch me with a 10-point pole.
Really?
I've literally watched them come to events and interview a ton of business owners, and never do I get interviewed. And I'm like, that's why I created BFS brand.
So that you could get...
So that I could do stuff like my tags used to say designed by Madeline Hall at Buffalo Food Slut, think of me when you eat. Still says all the same stuff now, but I added a fork on it. But then now I put it as BFS brand because I'm trying to do that because I understand Buffalo's not ready for that. But then you have Atlanta that just launched Vegan Slut. That's the #1 vegan restaurant. Yeah, it's Atlanta. They're progressive. They're good. They're ready for that. Buffalo's too small of a town. They're not ready for me. But I'm here.
And Buffalo was always... What I've learned about Buffalo, too, is that they're doing a lot of good things, but they're also a little bit behind. Everything comes to Buffalo 2 to 3 years after it hits somewhere else. Like that, what was it? The Poor Tap room or house?
Yep.
Like that.
They were everywhere else.
They were everywhere else. But
so
they
that
used
to be my old restaurant I worked at for 8 years.
Really?
Yeah, I was the head bartender at Cabaret Restaurant.
Cabaret.
Yeah. Not a
And
strip club. I know the name.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, are you a cabaret? Yeah, I'm like, yeah, definitely.
Right next to Encore.
Yep, but now it's a tap room. But they kept a lot of the original stuff, but it was crazy when they moved out. But the owners retired in the perfect timing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they said for Poor Tap Room, the only reason why New York gave them the license was because of COVID.
Really?
They were accepting everyone. They were just letting everyone have licenses.
But otherwise they wouldn't have got it? Damn.
Because, no one else is doing it in Buffalo where you can straight up. I haven't been there in a minute. I should go back.
Yep.
But it was sick. So let's get into this. So you went to Buff State and you majored in communications, which is what I did too. Did you like that? Was it fun?
Oh, I loved doing communications, all that kind of stuff. I think it's very annoying that your first year and a half of college, 2 years,
It's all the basic shit.
all electives. So honestly, my junior year, I was starting to do communications and started to do the marketing, and I found it kind of annoying because they were teaching me how to talk to people, and I did some production classes. I honestly knew how to film and use it was the same exact cameras that I was using in high school. We had a very well-developed program.
Okay.
And then too, when you were in cable club, you used even higher equipment. So I just feel like I wasn't learning as much, and then I was engaged at one point, and my ex-fiance and I kept traveling every winter. I would work my ass off, get a ton of money, and then I'd be in the service industry, the bars all slow down in the wintertime.
Yeah.
So when I would ask my bartender, the owners, hey, I want to leave for 2 months. Can I go? So I started leaving just for a few weeks. And then baby girl dropped out of college.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
And traveled the world for 5 years.
Okay.
And came home every little bit, saved up a ton of money, worked, and then just kept doing that. And then my parents were freaking out, and they're like, what are you going to do? I was making amazing money. I became a personal chef when I was 23. And I was like, okay, well, I already found this bomb-ass job working for this rich guy, making great money. And then I was bartending at 500 Pro, which was the #1 nightclub that just opened up.
500.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that.
And I was the #1 bottle service girl, but I didn't do bottle service. I was the #1 requested girl because I didn't want to come out and just bring out a bottle and just be like, yada, yada, yada. I freaking straddled that fire pit. I twerked, I danced. And if you follow my stuff, you know I love doing twerking videos. I'm in 2 of Benny the Butcher's music videos.
There you go.
But I love dancing. And then I overcame a crazy sickness when I was 23.
Really?
Yeah, I had SIBO, which is a Crohn's disease, small intestine bacterial overgrowth. And I became so ill, I tore every abdominal muscle in my stomach that pregnant women tear.
Really?
Oh, yeah, because I was so severely constipated, to be honest, that nothing was happening. So I tore all those, started to get a lazy eye, and my knees would swell up so bad that hiking just became not enjoyable for me anymore. And so these doctors tried to talk me into getting 12 inches of my intestine taken out, opted out of that surgery, went vegan for 2 years, didn't drink.
You fixed it?
Oh, hell yeah, and hydrocolon therapy, and that's where Food Slut was born.
You're answering the questions I was going to ask for me. Yeah. I was like, what was the period of time in between starting Buffalo Food Slut and then college? And you answered that part.
Yeah.
And
it was about when I was
engaged too?
Pardon?
You said you were engaged?
Yeah, I was engaged, and my ex and I are still pretty awesome friends. It took a while to get there, but I've met 5 of his girlfriends. And, because they all kept coming into my bar. I was like, shocker, I work here.
Yeah.
But Buffalo's too small, man. You just run into everyone.
It really is so
But
small.
the Food Slut was born just because I finally was able to eat again. Imagine 2 years of I would try, right? In those 2 years, I would go out to dinner and I would try to take a bite of a piece of steak to be maybe I'm good now.
Mm-hmm.
If there was an ounce of butter on, a little smear of butter on there, or touch something that had a preservative on it, I would just get so ill.
Really?
Oh, yeah. And so then when I finally got the clear that my disease was gone, after they told me it was impossible and I had to get this surgery done, I just completely started feasting and enjoying life again.
And that's how it started.
Yeah.
So where did because it is iconic, and we just spoke about it being the news stations won't cover it here. How did you get the name?
I don't know, man. I want to know what came in my head one day. I think I always was just I'm such a food slut. I love food. And it was crazy because when I was younger, I was really picky. I was the classic bread and butter, mac and cheese,
Chicken
that
fingers.
kind of. Yeah, chicken fingers, anything like that. Didn't like much. Definitely hated mushrooms, hated anything, tomatoes. But honestly, I think it was when I started smoking a little marijuana.
Getting a little more,
I remember when
taste
we
buds
were
open.
younger, freshman year of college, and we would be drunk and we'd be smoking, and then we'd get McDonald's, and they would accidentally put a tomato on my burger. And they did it so many times that eventually I was just well, ain't that bad. And so that's when I started and then too, I would be on important business meetings with my ex, and people would be getting seafood towers, and they'd be cheersing me with oysters. And I'm if someone hands me something, even if I hate it, I'll pretend to eat it or
Even
eat
oysters?
it. Oh yeah, I sucked it back, and I was damn.
I
It's...
tried. I can't do it.
So you don't you said what is it? They
Oysters.
Yeah.
And clams, unless it's in clam chowder.
But you like scallops?
Yeah. It depends on how they're cooked, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I've had scallops.
If you had
before.
my
Those are good.
scallops, you'd be give me 10.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah. Well, that is cool. The name just came to you. I was gonna say I don't like mushrooms or tomatoes either. So no, tomatoes just taste like water after a while.
Tomatoes. Have you ever had one fresh from a garden, picked? You travel. I know what you're talking about.
It's fire?
It's
Okay.
you put them in your mouth and they almost pop instantly. Where the ones that you get at grocery stores, you bite into them and then they explode. It's not this enjoyable flavor.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's something I gotta try then.
Got travel.
That's something I gotta try. Yeah, I do the travel more. What was I gonna say here? So you got the name, and I read the first post of I went all the way back.
Damn,
All the
what
way
is
back
it?
And saw the video. It was you introducing that you were I love food, and I love Buffalo, and I travel, and I'm gonna go ahead and showcase all the places. Was that and you just started off just taking
Was it a
pictures?
professional video or just me talking to
Pretty
the
good.
camera?
No, it's pretty good. Yeah, you don't remember?
No, I'm trying to think of which video it is.
August 2019.
Oh my God, I love
August
that.
2019. So was that was just the purpose of showcasing?
Oh my God. I think Devin Chavan did that video for me.
Did
I think I was at Bally. I think I did. There was a music festival going on. I just was doing
like
clips of like shoving food in my mouth. Okay, now I remember.
Yep. So that was the first one, and just the purpose was just a food blog, showcase Buffalo.
Yeah, I just wanted, and two, I did, and you'll see on there too. There's a lot of my own cooking on there, especially longer ago when I had more free time. I was doing dinner parties every other day.
That's what you said. Dinner parties with your friends in college.
That's kind of like where it also, everyone knew when they were going to my house. So we're going to Madeline's house. First of all, I was only freshman with an apartment. So I had everyone over with a nice kitchen. And then my apartments only got nicer with age. And I always looked for a nice kitchen. But I grew up with a family where my mom cooks dinner every single day. And my parents love entertaining and still entertain like nobody's business. So I guess I would just get bored. And honestly, communications when I was in class wasn't that complicated.
I was going to ask you that because I wasn't going to lie. Communications was a joke.
Yeah.
Like I was in audio and radio production, and you're going to teach me how to talk on the radio, teach me how to talk. Like all I got to do is talk. Like I know how to do that already.
Yeah, they were doing that, and then some of the communications was like telling you scenarios on how you can like talk to people, and when you're interviewing, or like if you're at a business meeting and someone's shy. Like I'm like, bitch, I got this.
I got it already. Yeah.
So my GPA was a 3.7 in communications. I crushed it. My parents, that's why they were so mad at me. They're like, you're doing great. Why are you leaving? And I'm just like, I know. And two, when I was bartending, you know how many people were handing me business cards? Work for me, work for me, work. I like knew it was going to be fine. The universe had a plan, and it was never to be work for anyone else but myself.
And that's something I'm gonna ask too, because did you always know that like from a young age, did you always have a mind of an entrepreneur, or was it just it hit you at some point?
Oh yeah, these lemonade stands I used to have weren't no regular lemonade stands. I used to go to the golf course, Cazenovia Golf Course.
Okay,
you know it? Used to go there.
Yeah.
My dad would front the money for my sister and I and get us Gatorades, bag of chips, water bottles, Pepsi cans, all this stuff. We would bring a beautiful table and we'd sit on the golf course underneath the tree. Get yelled at once in a while because you like really shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah.
And we would bring home about like $120 when we were 6 and 7 years old every single like Friday and Saturday. And I always too. And then I started nannying when I was 13 years old. But then my parents owned a daycare. And so I started working right away as soon as I could start feeding kids. My parents would pay me pay me some for that. But I always just always wanted to have my own money. And my friends in college, man, be sometimes so broke. And I'm like...
Yeah. That's the life of a college kid, unless you're, like, I was pretty broke in college, too. I worked at Tops, but, like, that was just what I did. But that's awesome to hear that you always had that, like, entrepreneur bug. And I think it makes a huge difference when you watch your parents own something and run it, too.
100%.
Because, like, you know it's possible, you know it can be done, and see the work that goes into it to be able to do it.
Yeah, my parents, I mean, it was crazy. My parents had the three of us before they were 25, right? Back then.
Yeah, back then.
That's what happens.
It is different, yeah.
But my dad was working at the steel mill. Everyone lost their job at the steel mill.
Yeah.
And they had 3 kids. And my dad ended up just starting to work at the daycare with my mom as my mom was finishing college doing psychology. And then my dad did stuff like that, and then still owns a company called Ceiling Pro. They go into places, power wash it. They do stuff for Coulter Bay,
really?
all that kind of stuff, and like all the chains, like power wash. But that's now just like complete side biz. He doesn't have to do anything. My other uncle runs it. But now he's a pharmaceutical drug rep, and he got that because of his communications degree. And he's one of the #1 sales rep in Western New York. I mean,
really?
You think I'm great at sales? And my dad.
It's cash money, too.
Yeah. And two, he's not, my dad and myself, we are not pushy salespeople. When people come to my pop-ups and they just want to buy a sports bra for $30, I'm not like, do you want a matching hat with that?
Yeah.
No, I'm like, I know they're going to come back. They're going to love my sports bra. Then they're going to be like, oh shit, this product's amazing. And they're going to come back. And they always do. But it's just like, I tell all my girls, I'm like, please do not just be like, your socks would match perfectly with this. Because I hate when I go into stores and that happens.
I do too. I was going to say, I'm the exact same way. Like, they'll buy it because they believe in it and they'll be fine, but I'm not going to push. Like, I hate when they walk into like a store and they go, what do you want? You need any help? It's like, no, I'm just looking around, and you want something else. It's like, no, I just came here for this.
Yeah.
And that's it, so it makes people more comfortable. They're always going to be more comfortable.
100%.
So is your mom still in the daycare? Or?
Oh yeah, I'm still in the
Really?
daycare, yeah.
Okay.
And she teaches them all how to swim. But now my sister just had her first baby. So now that baby's at the daycare.
Nice.
So now I'm an auntie, which is really crazy to have. So are you an uncle or anything?
Not yet. My sister will definitely have a baby.
Okay. It's so weird to like actually like have something that's like part of you.
Mhm.
You're just like instantly so much more connected than like, you know, your cousin having a baby, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Well, tell my sister, you know, don't do it very soon, but I will be excited to be an uncle, you know what I'm saying? She's got the man already, so.
I'll be shocked if I end up having children. I even feel so bad. You see how much I travel. I just got back from LA. I'm always traveling, and I feel like my cat comes home and goes like this to me. And I'm like, if I had a child, I don't know what I would do, because my passion is traveling all day.
Now, your passion is traveling, because that's also, this is wonderful, because you're answering everything. I've asked questions. She was answering.
I can talk to a brick wall, so keep going.
Where I'm also a fur parent. I have too many children. I end up with 3 now. So
3?
Two cats and a dog, yeah.
Oh my God.
I started with 1
Are they all friends? Get in
Depends on
there?
definition of friends, yeah. Oliver doesn't really like the dog. My dog's name is Duke. And Abu is like...
That was my first dog ever.
Name is Duke?
Yep.
That's dope. Duke is 2 now. My parents got him. I watched him for like a month and then gave him back to my parents, and he wouldn't eat or do anything else. So they had to give him back to me. So now he's my dog. And my dad was so sad, he's like, yeah, he won't do anything. So now I have Duke. And then my oldest cat, her name is Abu.
What is it?
Abu. Like
Abu.
the monkey from Aladdin.
Ah.
She's just small and cute and gray. But she's the boss. She's like Queen Latifah of a cat. She's just like,
I
she'll
love that.
pop you a little
I'm
bit.
the queen.
Back up. That she is. She just sits there. She like watches. She sits on top of one of my old laptops because it's warm.
Oh
she
my
just
God.
surveys the whole
Do you
entire
know that
room.
they have fake plug-in laptops for your cat?
No.
It literally,
That's so smart.
It's just, but I mean, how many times with my cat, especially too, like, she hates when I'm on my phone. She's like, pet me, pet me. And I didn't mean to get a cat. It just happened because my old roommate moved out and couldn't bring the cat home. And I was like, well, I guess I got a cat now.
Yep.
I love it, though. For come home and be welcomed by something is amazing. But I just feel so bad when I'm gone. And where'd I go? Last year, I was in Tulum for like 5 weeks.
Really?
Dude, I hired this girl. Do you know Alyssa? She works at 500 Pearl.
Nietzsche?
Yeah. So she came to a bunch of my pop-ups, emailed me, messaged me. She's like, I want to work for you. And I was like, shit, I really should have an assistant because I don't have one right now. And I was like, okay, come into my office, start doing this. You know, taught her how to like ship stuff. Literally was like, okay, I'm going to Mexico just for like a week. I ended up going to Mexico for 5 weeks. The girl did great. Then
awesome.
I got her a job. She did a pop-up with me at Vice. And Billy and a few of the other employees met her, and they're like, does she want a job here? And I was like, you know what? Yeah, you know what? I think she would. Then they stole her from me, and now she works there like a ton. But I'm so happy for her. She went from like being like a hostess there, like to now being one of the head bartenders upstairs, you know? So she's thankful.
Love Alyssa. She's dope. I met her this past year. Like, she just started, I think she started like...
A year ago.
Yeah, exactly. Very nice girl. So, where are some of your favorite places to travel since you've been, or places that you've been?
Oh,
you've been
okay.
to a lot of places, I know.
New Zealand is like so high up there. And okay, dude, right? I know a lot of people. I'm walking in New Zealand with my ex, which that's where he proposed to me, right there. And so we're walking down the street, and all of a sudden, I'm like, I think that's my friend Devin. He's like, I know you know everyone, but we're in New Zealand. And I'm like, nobody else has hair like that. And then all of a sudden I'm like, Devin? And she turns around. She just so happened to be, she was in Australia and just like dipped over to New Zealand for the weekend. Then I go to Southeast Asia the next year, run into my friend Ryan Montolopoulos, who's now a very successful movie producer in Atlanta.
Really?
Now he's in, where is he, in Bulgaria or something, filming. But watch out. He films the Migos music videos. Like he does all their fight scenes too. He's crushing it. Ran into him. Then in Colombia, I ran into some guy that's a regular from Good Bar. Like I can't make this up. But then South Africa was South Africa is when I came home from that trip. And I said, we had this dinner where I cooked dinner for everyone. A bunch of people that I just met for the first time there. We rented this mansion. We had a personal chef come. And then the second day, I cooked food for everyone. Pressure was on. And our one friend, Anthony, went around the table and just was like, what are you going to do to make this year your year? People were crying at the dinner table. People were opening up about some personal stuff with family. And then I was crying and I was like, I'm going to stop saying I'm going to do something and do it. Because I really wanted to start Buffalo Food Slut. You know, didn't know because I know there was other food bloggers. I didn't know like how it was going to be. I didn't know how it was going to go. Anything like that. I started like getting some samples of things because I really wanted to start doing stuff with it. And then I came home and I just went to work and started
That's
doing
crazy.
stuff. And that's like really when that trip really changed my life.
So, when you started the brand of Buffalo Food Slut on the page, at what point in time did you realize you're always out here? I know you have the energy, picking up traction, where you noticed people were really starting to follow it and follow it.
I think when I hit 5,000 followers, I knew it was time to launch something.
Okay.
And make it a brand, which was crazy on my part because I was just like, we're just gonna see how this works. But get this, the day that my clothes came in the mail, my joggers, where are they? My OGs. This was the OG color, that
nice.
purple, and my black ones.
Okay.
Right? The day that I get them in the mail, I come home from work, and it's the day, that Monday that all the bars and restaurants got shut down for indefinitely.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the hell am I supposed to do with all of these clothes? And my dad looks at me and he was just like, well, you got some money here, so keep going. And my parents were so awesome. I lived in the city, but used my parents' whole entire living room as my inventory space with boxes and boxes. But they just like redid their garage, so it was like they didn't even hang out in their old living room anymore. But we just moved all the couches and had a whole office set up there. And my sister and I would fill up minivan, I'd fill up my car, and we disperse. Like, she'd do the south towns, I'd do the north towns, like dropping off the orders. But I got maybe like 100 pants my first order, sold out in 3 days.
Wow.
And I was like, And then knocked on my dad's door, and I was like, I need to borrow a bunch of money. And he was like, what? And I was like, I need to borrow $10,000. And he was like, whatever, I believe in you. And did that. Paid him back in 6 days. And then I knocked on my door. Dad door, I need to borrow $20,000. Sold out in 2 weeks then. And then I was like, well, shit, I'm in clothing now.
Yeah.
And so then all the restaurants were closed. And I couldn't do this at my house anymore. Like, and then eventually I was bringing stuff into my living room because then my girlfriend and I moved into this bigger apartment, and it was the middle of summer, so we weren't using our one one living room. So I had boxes all in there, and boxes in storage, boxes in the basement, and boxes everywhere. And so then I put on my Instagram and I said, hey, I know all the restaurants are closed in Buffalo. I would love to rent out space from you, like to help out restaurants, right?
Wow.
Pay them, right? And then end up in so many. Free Street Tavern was reaching out to me, 5 Points Bakery, like anyone was looking for a source of income, you know? And then Macy's Pizza, Nick reached out to me and was like, I don't have much, but this used to be like a small little law office. And when I first came in here, I didn't want it. I looked at it, I looked at the carpets, I looked at, the space, and I was like, oh, do I want to be in Cheektowaga, yada, yada, yada. And then I was like, what am I doing? I'm like, the restaurants could, with whatever's going on, they could open up tomorrow. And so then I had to move my stuff. So I was like, you know what? It's just going to be a place where I hold my inventory because my specialty is pop-ups. And then it ended up being just into this little, it's not much, but it's so perfect for a first-time business. And now we're going to be doing a whole renovation of it in probably 2 or 3 months, and I can't wait. Lots of gem tones and like acid wash floors, and it's gonna make this place just so much better because then I'm gonna have more store hours. I'm gonna want to make content here. Like, this is my little ghetto backdrop right now that my one intern does some of my TikTok videos, like, but I want to have like more lighting, the God's lighting.
Yeah, all the God's lighting.
Yes.
Touched by an angel.
Thanks, Kevin.
Yeah. Kevin brought the God's lighting.
Yes.
No, that's dope. How long did it take you to get to 5K followers?
Pretty fast. Probably, it had to be just like 6 to 8 months, something like that.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy to think about.
But people were just looking at the name and just like, what's this? You know what I mean? Like, there's no questions after that. They just wanted to know more because people were telling me that they were, hence why Nashville's almost at 2,000, and I've done hardly anything with Nashville. I'm just starting to launch other cities so that I have them, because someone just started some other Instagram accounts I won't name in Buffalo, but literally are like, one, I don't know because it doesn't exist and I don't care, but someone started slutty Buffalo food.
Okay.
I was like, I read some of the comments and everyone's just like, seriously?
Just to go off the name and try to copy the crowd.
Yeah. Someone started, people, like, I have haters out there.
Well, that's when you're doing something right.
Yeah.
When you finally get haters. People try to copy, you're doing something right.
Exactly.
So.
But and then too, like, when I launched the clothing line and started doing events and handing out my fun stickers.
There you go.
It's so funny.
I got
so
one of those from somewhere.
These
at one point in time
are my appropriate stickers that I give out to people, like if I feel like they're older and come to my pop-ups. Don't want to scare them with the word slut, but then these are the ones that I bring all over, and I love them. It's like such an easy way to have a conversation with someone, especially cute boys at a bar.
There you go. I gotta figure out how to get some stickers that attract some cute girls at the bar.
100%. Game over.
Literally game over. So I mean, that's like, I know the pictures are aesthetically pleasing, and getting to 5K in like 6 to 8 months. I mean, people have Instagrams. Me and Ken have Instagrams. You're above that, but I'm not. Like, it takes a level of consistency.
It does.
Being able to be that consistent, and that takes work ethic. So when did you, like, how did you get the work ethic? Like, how was that? That started at a young age?
So funny
or like,
because social media too, we didn't learn about that in college. It was hardly ever touched upon. Now they're starting to teach classes, and it's like, thank God, where have you been?
It is crazy though, thinking about the times we're in, that now they have classes on social media.
But I think it comes from the work hustle of both my parents, you know, being entrepreneurs, and my dad gets done with work, and he would always come in and fix the couches, do this, do that. My mom would be making dinner as the day. Somehow she had dinner done at 5 o'clock every single day, even though the kids got picked up at 4:50. I was like, how does this math make sense? And we had to be home at 5 o'clock for dinner.
Really?
You better not be anywhere else unless you have full permission from my parents. And they weren't like crazy strict parents by any means, but that was our family time. And my parents both grew up having family dinner every single day, you know, every day. And we used to go to church when we were like younger, all that kind of stuff, and that kind of fizzled off, thank God.
Thank God we're not in church anymore.
But yeah, I think that it just came always the hustle, and too, like, I love being the center of the attention, but not in that bad way of trying to steal the show from someone or this and that. But like when it comes to Instagram and why people love Buffalo Food Slut is it's always, I've cried on there, I laughed on there. I mean, the other video I posted on TikTok the other day was me hiking up a mountain and really having to go poop, and it's a video of me picking up leaves that I'm confined in the middle of the desert, okay, to go. I just had a juice and it hit me a little too fast. But these are the things that I do on there that it's so relatable to people. Yeah. Because you laugh when you see videos of that, you probably laugh at other people. I saw a girl picking up
leaves to go take a shit in the woods.
100%.
That's pretty funny.
You know?
Yeah, that's pretty funny. But they do agree with that. That's something people have to, not everyone can do it either, because not everyone feels comfortable enough to do it.
Yeah.
Like I'm balancing like what I should put on there, what I shouldn't put on there too. But this is why these make it easy.
Now, like, do you ever, like, would you ever post a video of, like, weed and stuff on there? Like, hell no.
So one of my my role models, I used to watch Wiz Khalifa Day to Days.
Ooh, yeah.
On YouTube all the time. And
that was like, I think our generation, him, Mac Miller. Like,
yeah, I used to watch him. I still remember, I can recite lines, like, from vlogs, which is crazy, of Wiz Khalifa. I always wanted to do it, but just, like, I wasn't comfortable enough to do it. Like, just smoking on camera. I feel like I can do it now. I have my own business and stuff, but, like, back then I was like, oh, I won't get a job, things like that. But, like, no. But now I would.
Yeah.
I would get on camera.
That's like my big thing is doing with I can't believe I met we were filming on Benny we were filming on the owner's hide pen, because hides, they're from Buffalo, the owners.
Yeah, we know. We were supposed to do
Adam and them.
Yeah. Colin.
So we're on, none of us know that there's a music video being filmed. None of us were told, which is the best part. We just were asked if we wanted to go on a boat by our friend Richie, which, like, yeah, I want to go to boat. And someone whispered the thing, like, oh yeah, they might be filming some kind of music video, but, like, I honestly thought it was just somebody that's, like, thinking they're a rapper, you know.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. And I was like, yeah. And I didn't know who Benny the Butcher was, to be honest.
Really?
No, I had no clue. And so we get on the boat, and all of a sudden the camera crew's coming on, and Benny's and Tony and all the guys are all decked out with chains, and I was like, shit, these people don't look like no, like, little chill Buffalo rappers. I think we're in a fucking music video right now.
Dope.
And I loved it because none of us were like crazy done up or anything. That I happened to be wearing my bathing suit that I designed. So I was pumped. And it's the cover of the music video.
Wow.
And I have never been so sore in my life. We were shaking our asses, twerking, like on all fours and shit, for literally 6 hours on a boat that was rocking. All of us girls the next day were like, I can't feel my legs.
That's a lot of work.
And then, but where are we going with that question? Skirt. But then we just did that music video, and then I got a call back to be in the second music video that's going to be released in, I don't know when, probably in a few weeks. So they just released the song, so they're going to have the song get going, get some traction.
Okay.
And then that music video is just me and one other new girl. And I made even a thonger of a thong.
Oh,
and I called my mom when I was leaving, and I was like, look,
Wow.
Mom, I'm slapping the camera guy with my ass, and they're tossing money at my ass, and I put olive oil all over my body.
Wow.
Because we were about to film the one scene, and I look at the one girl, she's looking real dry, and I'm like, I could be a little bit more lubricated. And I was like, does anyone have any lotion? And
Who had the olive oil?
I went in the kitchen, and I grabbed, and they didn't just have a little tub of olive oil. It was like a huge tub of olive oil that I'm just pouring in the girl's hand and pouring on mine and just putting it all over us. And my thong bikini was like all the way up there.
We're gonna see.
I took one for the team, but my mom said, Madeline, you've always wanted to be in a rap music video. Since I was younger, I manifested it.
You did?
I always wanted to be in a rap music
Was
video.
it actually like a song that you can like twerk to? Because Benny the Butcher.
It was just the song that is on the boat is I Worked Hard for This, and yeah, we fucking, and you know what, that's a song that really, it was him and Ballistic Man. And
Okay.
I gotta always remember, shout out Ballistic Man, dude. I think this guy, have you heard any of his stuff or know him?
No.
So he's in 2 of Benny's videos. He's more, like his songs in Benny's what do you want to call that? Like, the second guy.
Feature?
The feature.
Yeah, feature. Okay.
But Ballistic Man, I think he really is going to be one of the rappers that goes off with them. It's just so cool that Buffalo finally has some famous people, man.
And I didn't even believe it. My buddy told me it was like probably 2022 now. Probably 2018,
What
2019.
year is it anymore,
Yeah,
right?
I
Like,
know.
they just all
fly by.
went together.
And January, I blinked and January was over, and now it's midway through February. But either way,
basically
he told me
Christmas.
these dudes from Buffalo got signed by Eminem.
Yeah.
And I'm like, who?
Griselda Records?
Yeah,
or-
Griselda, and it was obviously Benny, Conway, and Westside Gun. And I checked some of the shit out, and I'm like, this is like real gutter New York sounding, like old school, like it reminded me like Dipset kind of, like back then when they were just talking, a lot of drug talk, but I mean,
Yeah.
it's just like
But
what
I
they
saw Benny
experienced too.
live at the Rapids Theater, and I got to see way more of his music, and I couldn't believe how good it was.
Oh, he's
and
good.
it wasn't because, like, don't get me wrong, love Eminem, but there's been some of his songs where it's like, for a girl, it's just a little too much.
Eminem fell off.
Yeah.
a
But then he
while
came back for the Super Bowl looking like a boss.
Yeah, with the classic song.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
and so but Benny, I felt like he was singing. It was very educated, very like good, and I could like get along with it. And I love that he does some of his music videos modern after The Sopranos and Godfather and shit. Because that's like what my parents
The
grew
Black
up
Sopranos
watching, and that's what I've seen. And I was like, I love that. It's so different.
Yeah, and just coming from here too. I mean, like I said, I'm not from here, but having seeing the culture now, and they're creating a culture too. That's dope to bring back some hip hop. Well, not even bring hip hop here, because I don't know
100%.
people who came from Buffalo before them.
That's like,
You know?
everyone's like, oh, that they were around, but like, I'm like, so what happened? They just like completely like popped off recently, but I'm just so happy, and I'm happy that I'm a part of it, and I hope that I'm in the third one that they're gonna be doing with some other special guests. But I'm like, let's go. Like, and so Baby Girl's been working out and doing all twerking and ass workouts and squatting.
It's a wonderful thing.
I'm just trying to make my
It's a
butt
wonderful
as
thing.
fat as I can.
That's
Gotta be honest.
Today's world. We can't be mad at you.
Yeah.
No one's mad at you. That's really funny, actually. So 89 events.
Mm-hmm.
Like, as you said too. I mean, we both probably did the same thing in college. Throwing ragers. I feel like I may have majored in throwing parties.
That's why I can throw a good party.
I can do it too. How did you? Like, what was even going back to the first event? What was
First event was at Fatty Beers, and that's why I did my
okay,
anniversary
okay.
party there. I was sitting down having beers with my friend D-Ray, who's one of the owners, and Nick. And I didn't know Nick that much, I knew D-Ray.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, well, I really want to do a pop-up. I have some inventory, and I know that 5 Points Bakery is throwing a little, like, having live jazz music and having, like, 5 vendors. Like, I'm probably just going to do it there. He's like, Madeline, you're a Buffalo food slut, and you're going to do your first pop-up at a bakery? He's like,
Sure.
I know. You love 5 Points. You know, we get it. You know, it's right around the corner for me, and I love fresh baked bread. Love fresh pasta. And he's like, but we're Fatty Beers. You can bring your own food. We can get food vendors. We can do whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
And they just let me throw this party, and it was mid during COVID. And I still had over 100 people come up for my first
Really?
pop-up, and I brought anything that you see in this office / my whole entire patio furniture, slash my plants for my house, cactuses, palm trees, like anything you can think of. And I brought rugs, and I made this place an oasis. And then my parents, I just love them so much. My dad was like, we're going to bring cornhole, we're going to bring can jam.
Smart.
People brought splat ball or whatever.
Yeah.
Splat ball. Spike ball.
Spike ball, because it's a trampoline thing.
Yeah. And we threw a rager, and we made the best we could out of it. And then my first year anniversary party, we had to do it there again. We had food trucks come, we had vendors come, like Glamping New York. What was it? One of the picnic places set up picnics there. We had meat and charcuterie boards. Like we just threw, and then we had a DJ. And we just threw such an event, and we put it together. In 5 days, I looked at my calendar. I finally wasn't doing a pop-up, and I wasn't out of town. And I was like, this is the weekend. And we were so nervous because we planned it, right? In 5 days, just made a flyer up, said we were going to do it. We had over 550 people come. Fatty Beer said it was the best. The best sales they've ever had. And then, you know what's awesome? Is I was like, guys, you cannot have a line for people getting beer because their place is so small.
It's so small.
I was like, we need it to go. Yeah. So what they did is they put a little beer cart outside selling $3 beers, White Claws, all that kind of stuff to just keep it going.
Keep it going, yeah.
100%. We had a Buffalo Burger Bros, which are fire burgers. They're like smash burgers. Then we had Sun Cuisine doing sushi.
Okay.
Fire. Then the meat and charcuterie boards, and just like other things going on. But we just crushed it. People showed up for it. And that was like a moment for me because being an entrepreneur, I'm sure it happens to everyone in you, but you doubt the hell out of yourself. Are 20 people going to come tomorrow? Are 50 people? I mean, I told these food trucks 100 people were going to be there. And they were making up burgers, making up sushi rolls because they were selling out of everything. And then we had the event go an extra 2 hours because it just wasn't ending. And then people were eventually just going to all the other local businesses around.
Yeah, which helps everyone out. Mm-hmm. Makes me want to throw. I haven't thrown an event yet, but I have an idea. We made the work here on that. I want to do a beer pong tournament.
Hell
no one's
yes.
done it. I want to do a beer pong tournament.
Dude, you should team up with a company like the Cornhole Company. There's a company if you were like, hey, I want to do beer pong cornhole tournament, but it's a huge facility. They have like an Instagram, maybe it's like Cornhole Buffalo, but they have a huge warehouse, and I'm pretty sure you can like bring your own booze and staff it for that event. Yeah.
Where is it?
I'll find out details for you. Okay. Message me, but they I just know that like people are obsessed with that kind of place because they'll do tournaments, so they already are ready for that kind of thing.
Yeah, that's what I want to do, a tournament. I also love beer pong. Favorite sport.
Are you really?
I didn't become pro. Yeah, I'm not gonna brag. We alright. I've had the most practice in it by now. So.
I don't know where it is, but my friend John went to the actual. There is like a beer pong tournament like in the U.S. somewhere.
In Vegas?
Who probably, but it's like a huge world tournament that you go to.
That's so sick. That's so sick. I might have to join that, but first throw one in Buffalo.
100%, I'm here for it.
All right.
You speak it in college.
Speak it into existence, We make that happen. So you had that event, you had the year anniversary. What's it been like? Because I know you've thrown many in Nashville.
Yeah.
And what's that like? How
that is, okay, so funny / embarrassing, right? I go to Nashville for the first time because I know that the Bills are going down there. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to do a food write-up, where to go to eat and drink in Nashville, because 35,000 people went the 2 years before.
Yeah, they invaded Buffalo.
So I was like, perfect way to just get people onto my food blog, message me where to go eat food. So I went there. Mm-hmm. I brought some of my clothes, and I said, I went and found the Bills bar that was down there, and ended up that the one guy who runs the Bills Packers bar, Louie, ends up being a BFS fan. Oh. And his dad was one of my regulars at the bar. Because he's from Buffalo but lives in Nashville. Okay. And so then I talked to Louie, and Louie's like, hey, we'll have a meeting, come down to City Tap in Nashville, So I went down there, and he wasn't there yet. He was like, okay, I'm just running late, he's coming. So then I was talking to the bartender, and I brought some of my clothes, and I gave them to the bartenders. I gave them a whole pack of clothes. Okay. So the Bills are coming down here, and I'd really love for you guys to wear my stuff, because I bet you guys really don't have a bunch of Bills clothes, because it's a Bills bar only during Bills seasons, you know? And she changed her shirt, put it right on. And then the owner comes out, and he's wearing my t-shirt, and he was like, who are you? What is this material? And can you help us out? And so then I took over their clothing line down there. So my stuff is down in Nashville, which is awesome. Wow. My BFS logo and their Nashville Bills Backers logo. Okay. We just did some simple black, white, red t-shirts. with their logos. But that was a big deal for me. And I literally cried on the plane ride home of happiness. And then started to do my stuff, and then that got reached that the Bills were going to do like Punt, the company, the charity event that I do a ton of work with. They help kids with cancer. They help the parents, like especially if, kids pass away. The parents are stuck with all these hospital bills, their mortgages. So Punt is this amazing organization helping them out. And so
Awesome.
I got asked if I wanted to do a pop-up for their big event on, maybe Saturday night there. And so I got to fly back. When I was having that meeting with Alan, what are you doing in 6 days? And I said, you tell me there's something cool to do and I'll come. They said, come back here and do a pop-up for our big event on Saturday. And it was for Dawson Knox, is also one of the faces of Punt. And the socks. I don't think he was doing the socks yet though.
Not yet.
And I got to sell all my clothes there, and I got to go on stage right just after Dawson spoke. Gwen, the one head honcho of Punt, spoke. I get on the mic, within 6 seconds I start crying. I was it just hit me.
So there's always people that we look up to as role models, or who's whether it be personal, business, or mindset, and you have Gary Vee, Grant Cardone, Oprah. It's a good one.
Love Oprah.
Who doesn't love Oprah?
Yeah.
If you don't love Oprah, then you probably
I
broke. But you're probably broke. But who are some that you look up to?
I've always. This is a funny question because I never really ever had celebrity crushes or people that I crazy looked up to. But I guess growing up, I was obsessed with. Oh my God, what's her name? Tyra Banks.
Okay.
For Next Top Model.
Yeah.
I loved her hustle and grind, and just the fact that she just always was a boss babe, and people would post pictures of her being thick in a bikini and be like, oh my God, look at this Sally thing. And it's bitch, we all got it, and she just took it on. And each year through her top model, she kept taking on transgenders, she kept taking on different sizes, because when it first started it was this picture perfect thing, and then she kind of came in and was we're changing this. And then love Ellen DeGeneres.
Okay.
Love that girl.
Ellen's a boss, yo.
She's a boss,
She's got
and
mad
she
real estate,
gives
too.
so much back to charity. And that's same with, I loved Oprah. Oprah was my mom, always watched her. I always watched Oprah, probably cried, you get a car, you get a car.
Literally.
And that's always my ongoing joke with things when I'm handing people things out,
So
and
you get-
stickers and pop-ups. I always make the joke. But yeah, Ellen, and then I'm I can't even think of guy stuff at the top of my head. But I know that those were my boss babes. I definitely went for.
No, those are good ones. I had to watch Oprah too. My mom, I say had to. I mean, she gets
You
some
love
good
that
stuff.
shit,
She gets
don't
some good
lie.
stuff. I didn't watch Ellen that much, but I know Ellen because I was in real estate. I'm still in real estate, and Ellen owns a lot of real estate.
I think you were telling me that when I first met you. Yeah, I almost finished real estate school, and then Buffalo
Did you?
Food Slut kept going, and I just got distracted. I still would have loved to just have it on. It's always nice to have
Yeah,
a
you
back
can
burner
always do it.
side hustle, you
Yeah.
know. And now real estate everywhere. I don't know one place that isn't doing well with real estate right now.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
There's no. It's the backbone of everything. And I just love it. That's what I started off, and I will continue to renovating and then owning as many buildings as I can. But love real estate. So we got Oprah, Ellen, and Tyra Banks.
Yeah.
Tyra Banks is the truth though, because you're right about that. She was doing that because now plus size is normalized.
Oh,
that's
hell
just
yeah.
that's just what we see.
And that's with Buffalo Food Slut. We have up to triple XL, and then sometimes we have 4XL if I can get it right.
Okay.
We got that, and that was so big because I'll never forget. I did a pop up once, and these girls walked by, and they said, I just heard them under their breath. Of course, little girl, she has no sizes for us. I was like, excuse me? I was like, did you guys ask me what sizes I have? And they're like, no, but we know all your little local brands don't have our size. And I was like, I have up to triple XL, and I don't think any of you guys are gonna need triple XL. What can I help you with? And now some of those girls are all my top girls that buy my stuff. But I'm like, you know what I mean? Don't judge a
can't
book by
judge
the
for you know.
cover.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Can't judge it for you know. That's something.
I'm a food blog. What if I had extra small to large? Come on.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it make sense?
Would make sense.
Yeah.
If you love food, you know.
And
that's
it's so
something-
funny. So many guys don't even know I have guys clothes. That's always the question I get. I'm like, do you not are you really a fan or really a fan? Because if you know, I post mad pictures on at least my story, but on BFS brand, there's pictures of guys on there.
So
And Harris
hoodies-
Phillips.
Hoodies are universal as well.
Exactly.
Unisex. You can wear hoodies. Doesn't matter the color. I mean, I would probably wear this hoodie at some point, not crowns.
Yeah.
Just a
I
regular
don't think I
hoodie.
have any more left, but I did.
No, that's a sick one. So that makes sense too. Let's see, what did I have? So this is a good question just on the business side of things. as the influencer, I know you don't charge for companies, like you don't charge for the restaurants.
Yeah.
But how do you like value yourself for like working with brands? Because I like
a media kit.
Like a media kit / like just the monetary value, because it goes up. Like yesterday's price is not today's price in the sense of like you get a following every day, you build a brand.
Well,
like,
that's
how does that work?
Constantly changing my media kit from when I first started to when I'm doing it now. But my biggest passion with the food blog is that during all of COVID, like restaurants would be reaching out to me. I'll never forget, Billy Club was doing a whiskey, a box with like 21 Days of Christmas or something like that, with all different things. And they were like, we'd love to pay you to promote our business. And I was like, you're not giving me money. Send me the email. What do you need done? My grandparents ended up buying some. A bunch of my friends ended up buying. They sold out. You know, I was like, I will post it on my story. I will do whatever you need. Just let me know. It's just that restaurants I'm so passionate about. I was in the service industry for 9 years. And I know that so many people approach restaurants every single day with some kind of sales pitch. I mean, I was like the head bartender at Cabaret every single day. New products, new this, new marketing tools, new and it just becomes overwhelming. And I just want to be that brand that restaurants can reach out to me and say, hey, you know, we have this new food item. We'd love for you to come in. Hell yeah, send me a gift card, pay for the food. But during COVID, I paid for all the food. I didn't take a penny from any restaurant. They were asking me, you know, hey, can we do this deal? Okay, I'm like, let me just pay full price, you know? I'm like, okay, it'll all come back to me, you know? But now I'm like, hell yeah, you know, you want me to come in, you know, and restaurants too, like, will ask me and I'm like, please, I'm like, just send me a gift card. And I was thinking that way it sits on my fridge so that I don't forget about it, because you should see the list of places I have to go to. Yeah, how many new restaurants open up are insane.
Even just on Allen.
Well, see, I want to go to. There's that.
Restaurant.
There's the new place that was DBG Days Park. Have you been there yet?
No.
Okay, I want to go check it out. Yeah.
That's literally next to my house.
Is it?
Yeah,
okay.
Literally.
Yeah. So I that's funny because that they were a place that I was gonna have us eat food, but because they're so new, I would rather go in, see how the cocktails are.
I heard there's something they have there that's really, really good.
The beef on whack looks pretty fire. And then they have, I think it's a southern place, so I think they have fried chicken sandwiches.
That's what I heard was good.
Oh, okay.
Yep,
because I got some good places for fried chicken, so I'd love to try that out.
Teuton had some good fried chicken.
Oh my god, Teuton's fried chicken is like, and really good is their sister restaurant for seafood and ramen bowls is Jibatsu.
Oh, yeah, Jibatsu.
And their cocktails. I'm a cocktail whore. I don't like it, right? So like I didn't drink for 2 years. And so people are like, what do you do? My ass still stayed out till 4 o'clock in the morning, almost every single night. You know, because I still had an ex who liked to party, and I still have tons of friends that like to party. Mm-hmm. So I would stay out. I can talk to a brick wall. I go out to have conversation with people. My biggest thing is like, I don't like to black out. It's like, so then what, you wake up and you're like, I had so much fun last night. But it's like those handshakes and connections you made with people. And that's what I think also made Buffalo Food Slut grow so much, is the fact of like, it's me, man. I'm the face of that thing. I go out, shake those hands, talk to those people, and I go out by myself all the time. I have a blast. I don't care. If I know people are going to be there, I just walk in. Chances are it's Buffalo. I'm going to run into like 17 people I know. You know,
that's the truth. I feel the same way. I don't really go out alone too much, but I will run into people that.
But if you want to get me drunk, you take me to a good cocktail bar that has fresh pressed juices, so I can drink all night and not feel like shit in the morning. And that's why, baby, I love my Casa Azul because they have this jalapeno cucumber juice with fresh squeezed cucumber, and it's nothing about it is sweet. And I'm like, I just hate when you're, I love margaritas, but I hate when they're made with sour mix and they start like burning your throat after.
Yeah, I can't drink too many margaritas.
No,
you just, sweet.
He's like, let's get a margarita tower. I'm like, no.
Yeah, a little Don.
I was in college, you know?
Yeah, I could do that in college too. But I was eating Tums like they were candy in college. We had to calm down, you know?
See, I haven't had fast food in 7 years, and I don't take ibuprofen, I'm like the hippie of hippie.
Really?
I'm like the face of Squeeze. If you go into Squeeze, my stuff's there, but like they're doing a Squeeze after me, but like Squeeze saved my life, man. They were like the only place that I would ask them to, celery juice is like super good for stomach acid and all the disease I had, and they didn't have it on their menu, and I was like, can you please just every day have celery juice for me? And Maureen hooked it up, and now they sell the celery juice every single day, because now everyone's on the trend.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Are they no longer, where were they? They were in Elmwood, right?
They're always in Elmwood, yeah.
Okay.
They're in Elmwood and in Williamsville.
Okay.
Yep.
Williamsville. Good old Williamsville. I need to go out there more, but it's all 15 to 20 minutes.
I know, right? So
You
it
live
seems like
downtown.
Narnia.
Yeah, it does. It's just so far away, even though, you know.
I
It's
literally,
really not that far
when
away.
I go out there, it's because I'm doing an event and then I go out to eat there. But Cher, have you ever been there?
Mhm.
It's a restaurant called Cher out there and it's really good.
Okay.
And Brightsmith Brewery.
I pass by Brightsmith a lot of time. We have a client right next to Brightsmith, but I need to go there because people rave about Brightsmith.
Yeah.
It's a nice, beautiful place. They got good drinks, good food. So I need to go. I need to go check that out.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Lobster
So
pizza.
one thing I want to do is, because I always end the episodes in the same way, is that I want you to actually read your last Instagram post.
Oh.
For real. Because that inspired me, got me motivated, so made me even more excited to do this. So I want you to read
I'm
it.
like, can I please do my one that like was my Valentine's Day to myself? It was just on Valentine's Day. The other one's just so simple. Oh, can I do both of them?
You can do both of them, but the other one's powerful too. The other one's powerful too.
Well, my last one is here for the pasta. Just got home and was craving some fresh made pasta. So I phoned a friend and feasted like the food slut would. This pasta is a 10 out of 10. Even the damn bread and butter. And would you look at that smoked hanger steak? Do yourself a favor and get one on everything. Get one of everything. Yeah, I'm a pretty bad reader. But that was from Inizio, which is right on Elmwood, that makes homemade pasta. Have you been there?
No.
Are you living under a rock?
Yep.
Clearly.
A lot of
Have you gone there? Do you go? Are you a food slut? Are any of you guys food sluts?
I love food. I'm hella basic though, because I go to Culture Bay like twice a week.
Oh, culture based mac and
I
cheese.
love Culture
It's
Bay.
so good,
Yeah.
and they got like 50 draft beers.
Yeah, like Culture Bay.
But okay, so you're like more like a pub food kind of guy.
Yeah, I like pub food. I like that. I mean, I like food, but not
Yeah.
like the.
I'm a bougie bitch. Like I like those kind of places for like lunch or like
Yeah,
maybe like a happy
those
hour
days,
meeting.
yeah.
But like, oh my god, no, it's hysterical, which we didn't even talk about. But it's funny. We gotta always talk about people sliding into your DMs, right?
I'm sure there's quite a few.
So men try to serenade me, even women, with what they're cooking, and it's hysterical. They literally will message me and be like, "Oh, as I was rubbing down the fillet with fresh cracked pepper and sea salt and
At least
truffle
it's
oil,
creative. That's
and then I
crazy.
seared it on a cast iron and I put it in the oven just like you told me, and I boiled my asparagus and then lightly tossed it in garlic oil, like, and it's hysterical. And the whole time, like, yeah, and then I'm like, go back and I'm like, oh, this is the guy that like DM'd me 16 times before this, but
Oh my
but it
God.
catches my attention.
Well, yeah, that's creative. I couldn't do that. That's creative.
Wait, so can I read my
Slide
Valentine's Day to myself?
over it.
Okay. So I was in Las Vegas too, in the middle of the desert a few weeks ago. But I was in LA for the Super Bowl and got an amazing opportunity to work with a company that I'm going to be traveling with all over the U.S., doing a bunch of social media marketing for them and hosting events with them. But I'm going to be finding the food that's going to be at the events because he has a million other things he's doing. But we do like all you can drink packages, all you can eat. For the Super Bowl, it was like, yeah, all you can drink, all you can eat, watch party, all this stuff. So I'm in charge of finding food for the event and then helping marketing, do all that kind of stuff. So we were there and it was Valentine's Day, right? And I don't have no Valentine. So this was, a message to myself that I said, "Dear Madeline, you have done it. You have been your unique self and people listen. You have given your community so much love and attention. You have proven to everyone that you have what it takes to succeed. You talk to strangers so that you can put a smile on their face. You deal with people who put you down with such class. You are kind, you are funny, you are beautiful, you are loved. XOXO Madeline." And then I said, I got the opportunity to go to LA for the Super Bowl. Excited to announce I'll be working with Game Day Hospitality, hosting tailgating experiences all over the U.S., helping with social media marketing. BFS is just getting started. This week was a dream. Helped out at the tailgate, landed VIP tickets to Sports Illustrated party, and got front row seats. Saw the dream team of Barstool Sports in person. Went to a ton of peaches, ate an insane amount of food. Live your best life.
Boom.
And that one was a great one.
I wanted to highlight that one because that one caught me just because it's like a revelation of what you've obviously work ethic and what you've built so far, which is awesome because like it's only been a year and a half,
Yeah.
which is even more wild. So I always ask this too because I want you to read that because it's just getting started. What's the vision for you in 3 to 5 years?
Ooh.
Where do you see yourself?
So definitely having Nashville Food Slut even be bigger, have a clothing line with Nashville Food Slut, someone completely running that, that I pick. And I have some candidates that I just started interviewing that are going to do that. Someone is running Tampa Bay right now, but grow that bigger. But I would love to like really launch something big in Buffalo, and I think me doing these tailgating experiences, like we're doing one for the Bills game, and we're getting buses from Toronto and bringing people in.
Wow.
So it's not just going to be Buffalo fans, because BFS wants to grow. If I only have everyone who knows me come to my tailgate, how am I really going to expand? So we're like, what else can we do? You know, so there's going to be buses coming down from Toronto, and then we're going to be doing events all over the U.S., and that's like, that is my dream job, traveling and hosting parties, but I don't have to do the dirty work of honestly getting the tent, who's going to be working, who's going to be bartending. Yes, I'll find the food, but that's my dream, you know? So it's just to expand Buffalo Food Slut, so it's not just a Buffalo brand. We're going to have brands all over, but there's going to be little food sluts everywhere. And I really just want to grow my, you know, income and all that stuff every single year, and keep giving back and keep doing charity events, because that's what makes me the most happy.
It's giving back.
And I have some other things in plan, but like I can't say because some haters might try to beat me to it, you know?
Yeah, it's okay. They can beat you. They can copy, but it's not the same.
It's not going to be the same.
It's not the same.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Dear haters, go home.
Dear haters,
Stop.
go home.
Dear hater, like
Start your own stuff.
say, yeah, stop trying to cancel people, will you? Like
Or copy them.
or copy them, yeah.
Copy 'em.
No one
You
likes
can't
it.
cancel the original because it's always going to be lasting.
Hell
you know?
yeah.
I like that a lot. I believe in your vision too, because just from seeing the work you put in, like we're in the office right now, you know what I'm saying, 23,000 followers in a year and a half, that's an accomplishment, and just being able to push this brand as far as you can go.
Hell yeah.
So that's awesome. But either way, this is Built Different, and I'm excited to show you guys this, and peace. Peace.
Peace.
Boom.